fewer excuses, the more likely you are to do it. That is so true for running. I personally fall into the trap of procrastinating or not going out at all for my run or not completing the session that I'd envisaged. So today's hacks are as much for you guys as they are for me. I'm talking about pre and during, and whilst we're at it, we might as well cover post-run fueling. So you want to work backwards from your run time and think about making sure you've got enough time to digest your food. You don't want to be so full that you get a stitch, but I don't know what's worse, being so hungry that you actually feel sick. So make sure you consider that beforehand. And then dehydration is another issue you want to make sure you avoid, because that can dramatically reduce your performance. So try to sip water little and often in the few hours leading up to your run, because you don't want to just be gulping down a huge amount before you go, and it's just going to be glugging around in your stomach. If you're doing a longer run, then make sure you've got the relevant fuel and hydration with you. Even if you don't think you'll need any, it's often a good idea to have an emergency gel stashed in your pocket, just in case you feel you really need it or you decide to push your run a little bit further. Now, some people don't like carrying things on them when they're running, and if that's you, then just plan around it. So maybe devise a loop where you can hide some water and some fuel in a hedge, or do some reps that go past your house. Alternatively, you can plan a route that goes past a grocery store so you can pop in, buy some water and whatever you need. And when it comes to after the run, your fueling then is obviously not going to affect your performance of the run you've just done. However, it is key for your future performances in enabling you to fully recover. So make sure you've got something healthy already at home that's prepped, that's going to save you from kind of being distracted by the less healthy and less productive recovery options. This one could be a British thing, so bear with me. The weather can have a dramatic effect on your running performance if you're not prepared adequately. So make sure you check the forecast, and if need be, you even step outside the door so you can really gauge what the weather's doing. Now, some go by the motto, be bold, start cold. I'm not bold, so I start off with plenty of layers on. And if you're someone who warms up quite well, then have a strategy. If you're doing a long sleeve top that you can take off, tie it around your waist. Hats and gloves are a great way of keeping the extremities warm, but if you do get too hot, they're quite small so you can stick them in your pocket. Or do your warm-up loop so you go past the house and you can drop it off and then carry on with the rest of your session. And talking of doing a warm-up loop past your house, if you're someone who maybe needs a bathroom stop after your warm-up, that's another good strategy to have. Ever get out for a run onto the trails or the road, do your warm-up, and then for the life of you can't remember your main session? Well, that can be a thing of the past thanks to technology, as many devices now can actually have a session uploaded, such as the Wahoo Element Rival. You can take a session from whatever platform it is. For me, I personally use Training Peaks. I can then upload that onto the app, which will connect to my watch. So as I'm running along, I can keep a track of exactly what my session is. In the case of the Rival, you can actually do this 7 days in advance. So at the start of the week, why not get all your sessions synced to your watch, and then you have no excuses. This will also give you feedback as you go, letting you know if you're on pace or at the right effort level according to the colour that's displayed. You'll also be able to glance and see how far you've got left. It's pretty motivating. Or you can, of course, keep it really simple and go old school and write your session on your hand. We can't always have the perfect terrain or the perfect time of day available for our runs. So you need to be flexible and have a plan B. Why not even make plan B the better option? For example, say you were planning on your long run, but you've run out of time, you've only got a short window. Well, why not make that into some short effort so you work really hard, get a lot out of it, and just do your long steady run at another time in the week? Maybe you're someone who struggles for motivation and you procrastinate a little bit. Why not incorporate your run into your commute to work, whether you can run to work or from work, or if you drive, take your running kit with you, and then on the way home, pick a nice spot to stop off at, go and do your run before you get the temptation of getting home and sitting on that sofa. Sometimes the terrain just doesn't suit your planned session. If you usually run using pace as a guidance, but you're on an undulating route, how about swapping to using heart rate as your guide for your efforts instead? Or if you're doing short reps, then go with perceived exertion. On the topic of efforts, why not use hills as your easy option? Now, I don't mean physically easy, I mean mentally easy, because sometimes if you're not in the mood for having to push yourself and keep a set pace on the flat, go and do some hills and you cannot cheat, because running up the hill is going to be hard whatever, and you'll get your heart rate up, you'll get that same intensity, and you just won't have to think about it. And it's something that I personally use quite often when I'm feeling a little bit lazy. To finish up, we've got a few little tips and tricks to help if you struggle with motivation. So on days that you're really struggling, try to reduce the tasks and just pick one and go and get that accomplished. And you'll often find that by just doing that one task, you'll already feel more motivated, and you're quite likely to then go and accomplish more. Let me give you an example. Say you're really struggling to get out the door and go for your run. Well, how about just putting on your run kit and telling yourself you're going to go for a 10-minute walk? Now, most of us can usually get the motivation to do that. And you might find that just that 10-minute walk completely changes your mindset and makes you feel that much better. And then you might have the option of going, well, I'm now going to go for a run. I'm in my kit already. I'm feeling better. And you never know, sometimes the best sessions come from that. So it's about being kind to yourself and just reassessing those goals and accomplishing one, then the other. And just remember to be kind to yourself and congratulate yourself for any achievement that you do get. And then if time is an issue, again, remember the motto, something is better than nothing. If you can't get a long run in, don't stress about it. How about doing a double run day with 2 shorter runs either side of work, for example? Or look for quality in your runs like we mentioned earlier. All right, that is it. You guys now have no excuses, so get out and go for your run and enjoy it. If you've liked the video, give us a like, and remember, you can follow us on our social media and you can subscribe on YouTube.